Welcome. Welcome to the Discover the Warmth That Changes Everything workshop. I'm so excited for you to be here today with me. Thanks for signing up. I noticed that there are some pregnant women and also caretakers. I like to call caretakers nurturers. And I'm excited that you're both in attendance. It's great. This workshop will be focused on what a postpartum woman can personally do during her first 28 days postpartum. My name is Emily Montague, and I am your guide. I want to give a shout out to my co-founder of the Sitting Month. Her name is Cherry Law, and she is my guide. I want you, though, to imagine right now that if I can do it, you can do it too. So I want you to just say to yourself right now, if she can do it, so can I. If I can do the Sitting Month, you can do it too. Thank you for showing up. This is a huge part of your personal journey, of you showing up for yourself, being here right now with me in this workshop. Okay, before we get started, just some things that we have to do in this world, and that's a disclaimer. In a nutshell, this is for educational purposes only. It's not to create a patient-client relationship. And please consult your healthcare provider before starting anything new. Also, by listening, you agree to an assumption of risks associated with any of this information, and individual results may vary. Now, I want to take a minute for you to close your eyes and to visualize this word, warmth. What does the word warmth look like to you? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? How does warmth feel as a sense on your body? Externally, where does it come from? I want you to think about warmth. Warmth is the one thing that changes everything about your postpartum recovery. I want to share this image of myself with you. This is a picture of me after I gave birth to my very first son. And if you look at my face, it's very swollen. I had Pitocin, I had the epidural, I had a lot of water retained in my body from being pregnant. I thought that movement and protein would help my body release the water, but it just seemed like if I sat for too long, I could literally put my thumbprint in my ankle. Just if your body retains water, you know what I'm talking about. And it just was something that I thought, oh, well, this will go away after I have my baby when I can start moving more and being more active. So when I looked in the mirror, I was like, okay, the way that I'm going to release all of this excess water weight, the swollenness in my body is going to be through movement. However, I didn't realize that I was on the edge of a cliff. I'm going to call this the postpartum pit cliff. I was looking down and I definitely just fell smack straight down into this pit. Now, this pit, I like to imagine it like the Arctic because I like to imagine that this pit is full of exhaustion, depletion, health problems, and what most women accept as normal. Normal life after they have a baby, and women can potentially be in this pit for years. So I want you to think about this. I fell deep into this postpartum pit, and I was not recovering very well from giving birth to my first child. Within 3 months postpartum, I needed my appendix removed. I also had a kidney stone that was too large to pass and needed to be in the hospital away from my baby for 3 days. I was devastated by this. I did not want my baby to be on formula. I didn't want him to have a bottle. I wanted to be like, I didn't even want to give my child a binky. I was very hardcore. Looking back, I was probably way too hardcore and needed to relax a little bit. But you get what I'm saying. I'm a first-time mom, and in my mind, I'm just like, what the heck is going on? I want to tell you that all of these things literally could have been avoided if I had known the things that you are about to learn, and that there is a bridge, and that the bridge is called warmth. And I want to invite you personally to walk across this bridge. I want to share with you what this bridge of warmth is about and how it can help you navigate the first 28 days step by step and cross the pit without falling in. Now, what is this workshop that you are in? I want to give you a tiny outline, and it just says this. We're going to talk about why is warmth the single most important factor in recovery? What is your action plan? And I want to talk a little bit about warming from the inside with this specific tea. It's called roasted rice tea. It's delicious and I love it. So, in this workshop, you will need an open mind to be okay not following everyone else and a willingness to try something new. And the last thing is grab a pen and a paper because I want you to write down any thoughts that come to your mind. You're going to have thoughts that come to your mind that are going to be personal to you, ideas of how you can apply the steps that we're going to talk about today. Now, the physical reality during pregnancy is this. During pregnancy, your body is in a constant state of heat or warmth. Now, this symbol that I'm showing you is called the yin yang or yin yang. Yin represents cool and yang represents warm. This is a traditional Chinese method symbol because it represents balance. In the body, we want there to be a balance of cool and warm. However, when you are pregnant, you are significantly imbalanced to the point that you are in the warm state constantly. However, this is a good thing. This isn't a bad thing. It's okay. So, let's talk about this. While you are pregnant, your body is in a constant state of warmth because one, you have an increased metabolic rate of up to 20 to 30%. You have increased blood volume and circulation, 40 to 50%. You have hormonal changes that are going on. So I want you to think for a minute about this. When you have your cycle and you're in your monthly cycle, what happens is those hormones are changing regularly throughout the month. But when you get pregnant, the hormone that regulates you staying pregnant is actually a high heat hormone, and it causes your body temperature to rise and maintain, and it stays that way the entire time that you are pregnant on purpose. Your body is smart. It knows what it's doing, and we want to trust that. And I'm just letting you know that your body is very warm when it's pregnant, and it's on purpose. Another reason why your body is so warm is because you have a growing baby in there. The growing fetus is moving, circulating its own blood, kicking, doing all of these things, generating its own little body heat, which we want. And it's warming up your body as well. So your body is getting warmth through all of these different ways. However, the physical reality postpartum is that the hormonal crash after birth is instant and massive. There's a blood loss of 500 to 1,000 milliliters on average. There's decreased blood volume. And lastly, you're completely open, whether it's through the vaginal opening or through C-section. Also, all the joints of your body are loosened and opened. And this is on purpose. It is so you can release that baby. But when that happens, your body goes into an instant state of cold. Really quick. Remember in the last slide how I mentioned all the joints in your body are loosened and opened? Well, from your temples to your toes, all of your joints are loosened and opened. Now, if coldness creeps into those joints in traditional Chinese medicine, it presents itself as pain during or after menopause as joint pain. So we want to avoid that. And I'm going to tell you, the body is now in an immediate state of cold right after the baby is born and the placenta is delivered. This is why the traditional Chinese emphasis on immediate warmth and rest isn't just tradition, it's supporting your body through one of the most dramatic physiological transitions it will ever experience. Does that make sense? Thus, the body went from being in a state of constant heat, being pregnant, to now an immediate state of being cold. Therefore, it's in another state of imbalance. However, the state of imbalance of being cold is not one that we want the body to be in. It's not like the great imbalance of pregnancy. What happens when my body gets cold postpartum? Well, headaches and body aches, slowed healing and recovery, potential long-term health issues, your organs can't relax and settle into place properly, and hormone imbalance. I want to show you an example. Now, imagine that you have just made a freezer meal. We've all heard about freezer meals and we know what they do. It's prepare your food, set it in the freezer so you can use it later, and it's fresh. It's fresh because when you freeze it, what happens? It stays exactly how you froze it. That chicken breast, those strawberries, that soup, they don't continue changing or processing. They just stop, frozen in time, and they can stay that way for months, sometimes years when we forget something is in the freezer. So, your body works the same way postpartum. When your body gets cold after birth, all that blood loss, the hormone crash, the sudden temperature drop, it freezes in that depleted state, and your hormones freeze at their lowest point. Your organs freeze before they can settle back down. Your blood circulation slows, and your recovery just stops. Here's the heartbreaking part. Many women stay frozen like this for months or years, and they think the exhaustion and depletion are just what motherhood feels like. But it's not that. It's that their body froze before it could finish healing. I'm speaking from experience. After my first son was born, I was literally drinking cold smoothies in my hospital room right after giving birth. 3 months later, my body spoke up. With a kidney stone too large to pass, hello, surgery, and my appendix also needing to be removed. Hello, surgery again. Warmth is what allows your body to thaw, to move, to flow, and complete the recovery process. When you're warm, your blood circulates freely. This is healing. Your organs can relax and settle. Your hormones can rebalance, and your body can actually heal instead of staying stuck. So, the key focus for postpartum recovery is to keep the body warm. I like to think of this as tricking the body into thinking it's still pregnant. Because remember, when you were pregnant, your body was in a constant state of warmth. It was heat generating. And now we want to trick the body into thinking that it's still doing that, even though it's not. It's gracefully transitioning into a new phase of hormone development as you process, develop breast milk, all the things that are shifting and changing out of being pregnant. So, what is your action plan? Well, let's go through the action plan. Step 1, avoid cold drinks, ice, and cold foods. Wait, what? Emily, for how long? 28 days? What? Okay, if you had a C-section, I'm going to say 28 days vaginal birth, and yes, for a C-section, it is 42 days, it is 6 weeks. I know that this is a sacrifice for some of you. However, the benefit your body is going to receive is this: a gradual walk across the postpartum pit, that bridge warmth, that you can then avoid falling into the pit. I want to share with you one story about green drinks from my first postpartum recovery. It was actually in the hospital right after I had my baby. I had a placenta encapsulation specialist come to my hospital room, and she took a chunk of like a little teeny tiny piece of my placenta and put it into a smoothie and made me my first green drink smoothie or frozen fruit smoothie with greens right there in the hospital room. So immediately I was putting my body into a state of cold by internally also drinking cold. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do what I did. Also, we all know that the pebble ice at the hospital is fantastic to munch on, but once that baby is out of your body and the placenta is delivered, please say no to the pebble ice. It's time to do something else. So, this is starting day 1 postpartum. I want to invite you to wear warm clothing, long sleeves, long pants, warm socks. Think cozy. When you cover your body and it maintains stable temperature and supports circulation. You can think heating pad. What do you do when you have menstrual cramps? You grab a heating pad, put it on the aching parts, and gradually the body relaxes into warmth. Also, when skin or extremities are exposed to cold, the blood does not circulate well, which can cause frostbite. So imagine you go outside into the cold. What are you going to do? You're going to bundle up. You're going to cover from head to toe. You're going to protect your skin. You're going to protect your body. That's so you don't get frostbite. And there's a real reason, is because if an extremity gets frostbite, like a finger or a toe, you could lose that finger or toe because of the loss of circulation. I'm telling you, circulation is promoted by warmth, and it's going to help your body to recover faster. Next, blow dry your hair immediately. Never let your hair dry. Keep your head warm. It prevents headaches and maintains body temperature. So think about it. A lot of times we tell our kids, or we ourselves are going outside into the cold. The first thing we think of is like, okay, I'm going to grab my beanie. I'm going to grab my hat. I'm going to cover my head, because we know that our head releases a lot of warmth. So after you get out of the shower, just keep your blow dryer, your hair dryer right there by the shower. And as soon as you get out, you just start blow drying your hair and dry it up. It's going to keep you nice and warm. Okay, you might cringe at this image if you are an anti-co-sleeping person, but I could only find 2 images on Canva of a woman, postpartum woman, laying down. Does that not tell you something? Like, if I can't even find images of women laying down with their baby, or postpartum women laying down, there's a reason, and it's because most postpartum women don't lay down. But how is this related to keeping your body warm? Let's talk about it. So resting horizontally as much as possible is key. When you're pregnant, laying down on your back is one of the most uncomfortable positions because of the weight of the baby on your spine. It decreases the blood flow up and down your spine when that baby is pressed on it. We like to sleep on our side when we're pregnant. And the thought of sleeping or laying down on your back, if you're like me, I craved it by the end of my pregnancies. I wanted to lay down flat on my back so bad. So you have 28 days now to lay flat on your back. However, there is a little caveat, and that is if you had a C-section. So vaginal birth, lay flat on your back to let your organs settle. C-section, follow your doctor's positioning recommendations. This is because some of you, as you know, if you have a C-section, your doctor will say, don't lay flat, you need to prop yourself up with pillows. Follow him, he knows what he's talking about, or her. Now, your organs have been pushed up for 9 to 10 months, and we want to give them time to relax and settle down. Think about it. The minute you stand up, if you have no protection over your organs, they're just going to flop straight down. We don't want that to happen. We want that to happen slowly and gradually, with them being able to slowly settle back into position. Resting is a great way to maintain your body temperature. So when you're laying down and you have all these blankets on you, you have on your cozy socks and your warm clothes, your body temperature can be maintained. If you get up and you start exercising, or you're like me with my first pregnancy, where I thought, I want to exercise, this is how I'm going to release all this excess fluid in my body. But then I opened myself up to sweating, and then to a chance of catching a draft of cold and then feeling cold. So avoiding extreme experiences with temperature is key in the first 28 days postpartum. You want to help your body to rest and relax and recover. So this leads me to warming baths. I love a good bath. And starting day 12 for vaginal birth and day 20 for a C-section, because remember, we want the incision to heal. We want the uterus that has been cut open to heal before we start really aiding or encouraging the uterus to continue to clamp down. So ginger is an amazing herb for the uterus. And it is a food that you can take internally after day 12 or day 20. However, in this, we're going to use it in a bath. So you can use it as a ginger essential oil. You can also make your own. If you want to make your own ginger bath out of just ginger peels, you steep the ginger peels like you would a tea, and then you just pour the water into the bathtub. Now, another thing that I like is Chinese mugwort herb, and this can be turned into a foot bath. I like it as a foot bath because it keeps the herb more dense in the water rather than diluting it more when you put it into a big bathtub. However, you can do both, but I really like to do foot baths with it. So you would steep this herb just like you would steep any other tea. So what that means is you bring water to a boil, put the herb inside the boiling water, turn off the boil and let it steep or cook for 20 minutes in that warm water. And then you can pour it into your foot bath and just warm up your feet. Chinese mugwort is amazing for relaxation, so it is a great thing to do before you're going to go to bed at night. This is going to warm up your body and it's going to help your body to just relax. So one quick thing, cortisol is a stress hormone that is released in the body. Postpartum exercise can cause your cortisol levels to spike, which is another reason why resting and doing things that really encourage your body, like this Chinese mugwort foot bath, to relax, like encouraging your body to relax, is going to help you so that you are not jacking up your cortisol levels. Okay. Step 6, drink only warm liquids. We want to warm the body from the inside out. This is one of the best ways to warm your body. I know you're thinking, but I really like warming my body when I exercise. I love, getting that circulation going from exercise. Me too. But for the first 28 days postpartum, I want you to think about warming your body internally with food. So in traditional Chinese medicine, there are specific properties of food that are either cooling or warming. And the Sitting Month course at thesittingmonth.com is all about which foods are warming and which foods are going to help keep and maintain your body warmth during the first 28 days. It's kind of mind-blowing. But think about it. When you think of a lemon, you think of a hot day and you want to drink lemonade because it's cooling to your body. When it's hot outside, when it's summertime, the earth grows watermelon. And it's because our bodies need watermelon to cool down. However, in this season of postpartum, we want to avoid watermelon. We want to avoid lemon because they are cooling to the body internally as well. We want to keep the body temperature warm. So we want to include warming foods. A great example of a warming food is goji berries. And I love adding goji berries to that roasted rice tea. It's a water replacement tea that I'm going to share with you, and it is phenomenal. Okay. Step number 7 is ask for help. Now I want to give you a few minutes. Actually, I'm going to have you personally pause the video on this slide. And when you're ready, you come back to me. But I want you to take this time right now while you're watching and engaged in the workshop to think about, what chores do I have around the house that my body can't relax if they're not done? For me, maybe it's like if there's crumbs on the floor in the kitchen, I can't relax because if I walk into the kitchen and I start stepping on crumbs, it's just cringy to me and I don't want to do that. So maybe the thing that I'm going to write down is I need someone to sweep the floor or vacuum it. Maybe for someone else, it might be like, if the trash needs to be taken out, I can't relax because it's smelly in my house. Think of your list, okay? What chores around your house need to be done so that you can relax? Next, do you have other children? And if you do, write their names down and what they specifically might need from someone that will help them so that you don't have to be the one that they are going to other than for hugs and kisses and maybe for you to read them a book. We want their needs to be met as well, but they need to be acknowledged. So writing them down is going to be key. Next, who do you feel comfortable asking for help, and write their names down. Okay, when you're ready to do this exercise, pause the video, pause the workshop, and I want you to start writing it down. Okay, great job. Now, how long do I need to stay warm for? 28 days. If you had a C-section, 42 days. I have created a guide, a PDF for you to print off of a month, 28 days. And if you had a C-section, print it twice and add the 2 weeks. I want you to just mark on a calendar 28 days of rest and give it to yourself and make that calendar seen to everyone that comes into your house to let them know like you are honoring and respecting your body. This comes from ancient wisdom. The wisdom that is in this is not something to mock. It is something that people will respect. And when you respect it, they will too, but it has to start with you. So printing off that guide that calendar is going to be awesome for you. I want to share a quote from one of my friends that, she really dove in with this and took a leap of faith and was like, you know what, I'm just going to try out the sitting month and I'm going to walk the warmth bridge and see what happens. She said, the hardest part during the 28 days was the resting. I felt so good. I wanted to go back to normal life so bad. However, listening to my body, I knew that pushing it was only setting me back. Now, after completing it, I feel very ready and healthy going back to normal activity. I'm honestly shocked. It took me at least 3 months with my first to feel the way I feel now. And my baby isn't even 2 months old yet. That's Afton. So I want to just point out, though, that she really did focus on the warmth internally. She really worked on making sure that she was eating warming foods. And this was the key that helped her really cross the bridge and following all the other steps. And I will add, she had someone else help her prepare her food so that she could take the resting part very seriously, which she mentions in her quote. Now, take action now. I have this written 3 times. Your call to action goes here. I want you to write down your call to action. What is it going to be? I have in school.com a VIP module under the classroom. Inside that module, to buy it, you purchase the VIP module and it's $47, but I send you the foot bath, the mugwort, Chinese herbal foot bath tea, and then roasted rice tea sample pack. I'm going to send you this as well. So when you enter into the VIP for the $47, you're going to get a guide that has a list of all these things that we just mentioned, a calendar so that you can start tracking your own 28 days. And then also, I have a link to how to make your own roasted rice tea. So, roasted rice tea is a very beneficial water replacement tea. Instead of drinking straight warm water, which boiled water can actually pull minerals from your body, we want to drink roasted rice tea instead. Roasted rice tea is soothing to your digestive system. And since your digestive system has been stressed from being so squished, if you remember, you're like, I want to eat like a full steak dinner and I can only eat 2 bites because my stomach is like this big. We want to help your digestive system to settle, and drinking the roasted rice tea is the key. So it's warming. You can add goji berry, you can add longanberry, and you can add tangerine peel, which I'm adding in the school VIP module. Everything is going to be in there so that you could do it yourself. Create the roasted rice. I show you in a YouTube video how to do the roasted rice, how to add the tangerine peel to it, and then how to add the goji berries and the longanberries. And longanberries are awesome for really calming your body as well. So these things are ways that you can take action. And then letting the people around you know, hey, I'm taking action by resting. This is my plan. I'm doing the sitting month, 28 days for postpartum recovery, and I'd love your support. I want to finish with a quote by acupuncturist Jill Runquist. She said, when you give birth, you reset. You can go good or you can go bad. If you are exposed to cold, all of your joints open during birth as the vaginal canal opens. From your temples to your toes, you avoid a cold, even a draft for 6 weeks. If you don't respect this, it comes out as pain during menopause. So just as like secondary opinion, this acupuncturist is saying, I see clients come in that have just given birth or that are in that postpartum recovery period, and I see their bodies can either go good or go bad. And she often will say the missing piece is the food. They're missing knowing what foods are warming and which ones are cooling. I'm telling you, the roasted rice tea is very warming. It is beneficial. And it might seem like a lot to do for 28 days, but you are giving it back to your body. If you're interested in any other recipes or any other foods, check out thesittingmonth.com. It's a 28-day calendar with visual representation of every single recipe. You can also order all of the ingredients from those recipe links. It's all in a course. It's laid out day by day what to do. Give this to the person that's going to take care of you, your nurturer or caretaker. Your job is to rest. So now, we talked about the warmth bundle on the school.com platform at TSM, stands for the sitting month, and then dash afterbirth recovery. So join that community, and then you click on classroom at the top, and it will open, and then they will say like the warmth workshop, and then it will say VIP bundle. And you can purchase the VIP bundle, and it will have these things that I'm talking about. And I will ship you the Chinese mugwort herb and the roasted rice tea week pack. Now, questions and answers. I know that this is a workshop that's being recorded, but if you have questions and you want answers, will you please go and write them down in the school community? I want to reach out with you. I am active in the school community, skool.com, and then you can search for TSM Afterbirth Recovery and join our community. If you want to meet up with me once a week, shoot me a message just right there on that classroom community page, and we have new members joining regularly. I would love to meet up with you there, answer any questions that you have. But please write down your question right now and then go and post it inside that school community so that I can answer it, because I will. I check it regularly. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, you are the hero of your postpartum recovery. You can cross the warmth bridge. It is possible. If I can do it, you can do it. And I want you to keep saying that. If she can do it, I can do it too. And you can. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations on your new baby. Bye.